The intertidal zone is an area along the coast located between the high water line and the low water line. This ever-changing environment is a host to a variety of interesting marine life. With change in tide happening twice a day, these creatures have adapted to conditions that range from being fully submerged during high tide to long dry periods where they are exposed to extreme heat and cold during low tide. During this shift, pockets of seawater collect in the tide pools, a small natural aquarium. These pools allow us a close look at the creatures of the intertidal zone. Pacific blue mussels play an important role in the intertidal. Anchoring themselves to rocky shorelines, they form a dense layer where smaller organisms hide during these shifting times. Camouflaged in the mussels, the tiny tide pool sculpins dash from crevice to crevice, seemingly only visible when in motion. They are a rather sedentary and home-bodied fish, demonstrating preference in tide pools. When displaced from their home pool, they are able to find their way back by using visual memory and their keen sense of smell, which works by detecting chemicals in the water. They have shown the ability to return to their favorite pool from a distance of over 100 meters. Among the many little creatures thriving in the turbulent waters of the intertidal, there is one clear star of the show: the ochre sea star. They can be purple, pink, orange, brown, and even yellow, with small white spines that form patterns across their backs. At low tide, they cling to the rocky shores in huge numbers, dangling from rocks and wedging themselves in crevices to reduce their water loss and help them hide from predators like seagulls. They themselves feast on the mussels abundant in the intertidal. They use their hundreds of tiny tube feet to grip the shell and pry it open. A 1 millimeter opening in the shell is enough. They then extrude their stomachs and use its acid to liquefy their prey. Complete digestion takes between 2 to 3 days. These stars reproduce by spawning. They release reproductive cells into the water where chance fertilization occurs. The young stars have softer skin that toughens as they age. In the wild, they can live up to 20 years. Alongside the stars, giant green anemones can grow as large as 12 inches in diameter and get their vibrant color from microscopic algae. While agitating anemones are smaller and are brownish-green in color with pink tips on their tentacles. These anemones are able to clone themselves and engage in territorial clone wars. Floating just offshore, the Pacific harbor seal crosses the intertidal to rest on BC's rocky shores. Their torpedo-shaped bodies range from 5 to 6 feet, and they can weigh anywhere between 150 to 300 pounds. When in the water, they can dive up to 1,500 feet, but they prefer to spend the majority of their day lounging to conserve energy and avoid predators. Low tide exposes their favorite resting spots. As the tide rises, they float off the rocks and return to the water to swim and hunt for fish. The intertidal, a place where every change in tide reveals the remarkable adaptations that allow life to thrive between land and sea, reminding us that even the smallest pools can support an extraordinary variety of marine life. The creatures we've explored today are just a few of the many species that call the intertidal home.